Hey, Tutu's here from Jabber Jabber. I got Elvis with us, aka also known as the WFW Champ. And if you want to see him defend his title, tune in Wednesday at 7 p.m. He's got a triple threat match tonight, no disqualification. Big Daddy's his nickname. I don't even think he asked for that nickname. We just gave it to him. Right? I don't even know. Did you ask for that, Elvis?
Nope, that was all you guys, which
Hey,
is all good.
you're Big Daddy. So anyway, man, let's talk about this biggest weekend in wrestling
Woo!
all year, and NXT stole the show, man. If you ask
They
me.
they did NXT like Takeover. For me, NXT Takeover always steals the show, man. Like
Mhm.
those guys are on point.
The thing is,
Like
it was Mania weekend, though, man. You would think that Mania would have stepped it up a little bit, but there's something about NXT, man. They that first match on NXT that we're going to talk about here in a minute set the pace for the whole weekend, man, and
ooh,
it just shredded anything I've seen in a long time.
it did. I mean, it was a phenomenal match. Like there was just from beginning to end, it was high flying. The crowd was into it.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it really set the bar.
yeah, that Vivar. Hey, the thing is, last time we did this, man, I didn't get to watch the shows. This time I got to watch the show, so we can both give our inputs on this and see what we think about it. So what we're talking about is a six-man North American title ladder match. Now, the first thing that set off in my mind was the ladder match at WrestleMania X7, I believe, with the Dudleys, the Hardys, and the Dudleys, Hardys, and Edge and Christian. They did all them spots and had all that crazy stuff going on, and you're thinking, man, they're going too far because nobody's going to top that. What can you do now? You know, you're doing
Yeah,
everything you can now. They did it. NXT stepped it up. They went past it. I know Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, and the Hardys were sitting back going, holy crap, man. We didn't think this could be done. They just topped us. But the thing is, it's got to stop somewhere else. Somebody's going to get hurt. What do you think?
yeah. Yeah, they there was quite a few moves that where even the crowd was like, "Don't die," you know.
Yeah.
They were chanting like, "Don't do something that much. We don't want you to do something that's really going to injure yourself."
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Entertaining as hell. But you know what? I
Right,
watch this for the entertainment value. I don't want to watch it for somebody to die. You know?
right.
And not only uh, die necessarily, but there was some spots in there that somebody could have broke a back, a neck. I mean, there was a lot of crazy shit happening, man.
Right, like the when Lars Sullivan there did the rock bottom
Mm-hmm.
to onto EC3,
Yeah,
and he did it right on top of the Velveteen Dream, and they were on top of the announce table.
right,
Like,
right.
I mean, it was insane.
Now,
So many insane moments.
yeah, I mean, we could sit here and talk about it all day, but let me tell you what I got out of the deal was I saw a story being told. Unlike Raw and SmackDown,
Yep.
like like the Raw after Mania, we're doing this video after Raw, so it's kind of we should have done it sooner, but we were messing around with stuff. I was on vacation, but Raw, all they did was they brought in a bunch of new faces, which I knew was going to happen. I mean, I called a lot of that. I knew the loser of the Ember Moon Baszler match was going to get moved up. I knew. I'm waiting for Cien Almas to move up. I thought for sure the loser of the Black Almas match would move up. I knew the Authors of Pain were coming up, but that's not the point I'm getting at. The point I'm getting at is the NXT Takeover set up a lot of things, especially this first match. I could see it forming. You're going to see Lars and Killian in a feud after that ladder match. You could see all these forming. EC3 and Velveteen Dream. I'm sorry, EC3 and Adam Cole, and then the Velveteen Dream and Ricochet. I could see that form. I could see those feuds forming during that match. They set it up for further matches down the road.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much potential with storylines like right in that match where you're setting up other matches
Yeah,
within themselves of competitors against competitor, and there was so much storytelling going on in just that one match. It was absolutely incredible from beginning to end.
yeah. Now see, me and Farley, or Farley and I, we argue about this because I'm a spot guy. I kind of like the attitude there, and I like the spots. And he always says, "Well, I want
Right.
to see a story being told." And I was like, "What the hell are you talking about a story? It's wrestling, man. It's, you know, they're doing moves. We want to see the fancy stuff." But
Right.
NXT showed me, after being a wrestling fan all these years, what a storytelling was included in the match. The whole night. It was amazing. It's like, why don't they put that into Raw and SmackDown? I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, like I think the thing is like with the difference between NXT and Raw and SmackDown
Uh-huh.
is because NXT like specifically is Triple H's gig.
Right.
Like Triple H has full total control over NXT.
Right.
100% total control. Whereas Vince still has that control over Raw and SmackDown. So it's basically whatever Vince says goes.
Right. Do you think Vince has any control over NXT at all, or do you think he just lets it go to Triple H?
No, he's totally invested that into Triple H. Triple H has that 100%. Triple H is the final authority when it comes to NXT. Like that's his baby.
Now, see what's that tell you? That tells me Vince needs to step down and let Triple H run the whole show, man. If they can make all of them like that, holy shit, man.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And if Vince can't notice that, I mean, how can Vince not notice that? I mean, that NXT was just so amazing. I know we're sitting here, blowing smoke up NXT's butt, man. But anybody that watched the whole weekend of wrestling is going to tell you NXT stole the show.
Yeah, NXT, like all the reactions that people have had online and everywhere else, everybody's saying that NXT was the one that stole the show.
Uh-huh. Well, the first match we're talking about, by the way, was the six-way for the inaugural North American title. We had Adam Cole, baby! The Velveteen Dream. Yeah, Velveteen Dream was in there. Killian Dane and Lars. And then we had two debuts with EC3 and Ricochet. Ricochet came from the Indies, I believe. EC3 came from TNA, Impact, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Right.
So those two guys made their debut. What a way to make your debut. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy.
EC3 is a competitor. Like, I like EC3. I've seen him in TNA. I thought he was held back a lot in TNA. And now that he's in the WWE, I'm hoping that he'll finally get a part.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he'll finally get a step up and be able to actually do something. Ricochet, I knew going into the match that Ricochet was going to tear it up.
Right.
Ricochet is insane.
I tell you what, but he's a tiny guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
he's small.
Especially when there was that one moment when he was climbing the ladder and Lars Sullivan tipped the ladder over with him on it, and he ended up turning that into a moonsault.
Mm-hmm.
He flew off the ladder onto two opponents and ended up turning it into a moonsault.
Right.
I mean, just that alone shows the ring smarts, the ring awareness of Ricochet to be able to pull off something like that. It shows what a truly great competitor he really is.
Man, the stuff he was doing was amazing. I know he's a smaller guy, so yeah, I get it. But holy crap, man, he's athletic. He was taking bumps on the ladders. I mean, there was so many great things going on here. The biggest thing I think that stuck out was Killian Dane and Lars Sullivan are going to have a feud. I mean, that stuck out the whole match. They kept bumping into each other. They're going to be feuding for quite a while. And wow, that's going to be a good feud.
And that's going to be a good feud because they're two big guys. And I wasn't really sold on Lars Sullivan. Like, I've been watching him on NXT, and I'm like, this guy's like another ripoff of, all I could think was another ripoff of, what's his name?
I didn't do
that. The big giant guy they used to have where he was like, I didn't do that. Snitsky.
Oh, Snitsky. It's not my fault. Yeah, you're right. You know what? Yeah. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Right? That guy?
Yeah. Yeah. He reminded me so much of Snitsky, just his whole persona. And like during this match, he really impressed me. Like I was like, wow. I was like, this guy really is impressive. I can see why he's on the NXT roster. Like, he really proved himself during that match to me as to why he was on the NXT roster in the first place.
Now the thing we got is, in an earlier video, I was talking about guys that would be moving up to the main roster after this, and I nailed most of them, but now we're running into a problem. Don't take too many. You take too many from NXT, then you got to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I like the call-ups and everything. I think it was a given that the loser of the Ember Moon Baszler match was going up. I mean, that was, in my opinion, that was and we knew Raw tag team division was a mess. So we knew somebody was going up, and AOP was definitely next on the list to move up. I didn't see No Way Jose moving up. That was kind of a little bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah.
Adam Rose ripoff, if you ask me.
Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. When he came out with all those people, I was like, this guy is basically like an Adam Rose ripoff. Like, it's something that's already been done, and with all those people, it was just completely unnecessary. He hasn't, in my opinion, like really proven himself in the NXT division. So I don't really know why they brought him up.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. And he didn't prove himself in his first match because they put him in there with, I don't know, Skyler or whatever the hell his name was.
Yeah, some jobber.
They could have put him in there with, you know, Elias, Kurt Hawkins. I mean, there's a lot of people he could have put him in there with. While we're on it, dude, I feel so bad for Elias. He is so great, and they're squashing him, man. He's getting wasted.
Yeah, Elias, man, I feel bad, especially like Cena just like tore him up. Like he kind of just slammed him around and was like acting like, yo, this is I'm gonna show you right now. I'm just John Cena. This is Elias. I'm gonna whip him real quick, just because I'm frustrated because the Undertaker won't come out.
Right, and then the Undertaker come out and squash Cena.
Yeah,
it's like,
and then it was a complete reversal because the Undertaker goes out and just completely squashes Cena. And the Undertaker was good.
Elias and Cena put on a good match. They could have made Elias look really good against Cena, even in a loss.
Yes.
You know? But, hey, it is what it is, man. Sometimes you don't understand what they do, and that's another one of them things, man. I didn't want to see The Undertaker and Cena at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Undertaker went out gracefully. Let it go, man. Let it go.
I was really surprised that he came back with the original Undertaker thing, too. Like,
right.
That whole gimmick was retired, and then, like,
but
didn't make sense.
I know we're a little bit off the subject. We're talking about NXT, but what good did that do either one of those guys? It didn't do Undertaker or Cena any good for that. It was a crowd pleaser, but all it did was please the crowd because they got to see the Undertaker again. That's all it did.
Right. That was literally the big event was the Undertaker's entrance, and then once the Undertaker's entrance was over, I think the fans got bored really quick because it was just the Undertaker. I mean, even still, he's impressive. 53 years old, just coming off from hip surgery. You know, impressive as hell. He looked good, but again, it was just kind of one of those wasted moments where it's like, okay.
I think the fans would have been just as happy just seeing the Undertaker come out and cut a promo instead of wrestling.
Yeah,
they would have been they just wanted to see him. They wasted that spot and they squashed Elias again. They could have had Elias lose to Cena, and then you know, still made him look good. We got to get back to NXT. We'll save that for the Mania video. But yeah, that bugged the crap out of me when that happened. So we're talking about the Ricochet, EC3, Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, Velvet Dream.
5-star match all day long.
But pardon me?
5-star match all day long.
Oh man, it was a 5-star match halfway through the match. I mean that was something else, dude. I was on the edge of my seat watching that. I didn't know what to think. I had no idea what was coming next, what they were going to do.
Right.
The storytelling, the feuds that were set up. Like I said, I don't know who do you think is going to feud with Adam Cole out of this? Is it going to be Velveteen or EC3?
Oh,
maybe a 3-way?
I think you could see EC3 doing it. I think that would too. I think to push Velveteen, I think Velveteen Dream would be better off. To be honest, I think Velveteen Dream would be better off against somebody like Ricochet.
Yeah.
Because they're both young, and they can both, you know, do a lot of high-flying moves and keep it aerial.
That's what I got from it, too.
Adam Cole is kind of like the ground person, and EC3 is a ground person. So I think EC3 versus Adam Cole would be a really good setup.
Now with the North American title, and they have the NXT title held by, we'll talk about that match later, but Cien Almas had the title going in. And you got the UK title. Is there too many titles in NXT? I'm thinking there is. That roster's not big.
There is. I think there is, because it's really confusing as to, it's much like the WWE was when they were just handing out titles like they were trophies. You get a title, you get a title, everyone gets a title.
Right.
I think there's just way too many titles for NXT. I think you should stick with NXT. You should stick with the basics, the championship, the women's championship, do like a tag team championship, and maybe like one title to kind of base it, like the North American Championship or whatever, kind of like the Intercontinentals.
Right. I was just going to say that they could combine, because they're not doing nothing with that UK title.
No, they should just drop the UK title.
They could combine the UK and the North American title to be some kind of, like you said, Intercontinental or whatever you want to call it.
Right. They can even drop everything at all together and just bring out like the I don't know what you would call it, something to combine like North America and all of the continents, like the continents together, just one title to combine it all.
Right. Something just below the actual World NXT title.
But
you know what? That tells everybody who's watching this video how good that match was. We just spent 16 minutes. I know we strayed off a little bit, but all that revolved around that first match. I mean, it was amazing.
Right. It was a bar setter.
I don't even know what to say about it anymore. And Adam Cole pulled double duty because he wrestled again later, and we'll get to that.
He did.
But after this six-man ladder match for the vacant or the inaugural North American title, they had the women's title with Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler.
Right.
And I kind of felt all along the loser of this match was going to go to the main. I felt that Baszler could actually move up to main, so she could have lost. But Ember Moon's done her time, man. It was her time to come up. What do you think?
Yeah, Ember Moon, I think you really deserve the push over Baszler. Mm-hmm. Like, I think Baszler would do good. She's got the friendship with Ronda. You could start something there with her and Baszler together.
Right.
But I think you hit it right when you said that Ember has done her time.
Yeah, she has. She's
and to me, like, that's the most important thing. And that's the thing that the WWE does not focus on. They have a habit of giving people titles too quick. Mm-hmm. They have a habit of pushing people too quick without proving themselves. Uh-huh. Like Jose, No Way Jose.
I don't get
they just have this habit of doing that. And I like the way that they pushed Ember Moon. They let her stay there for a while. They got her the NXT Women's Championship. Mm-hmm. And then they pushed her to the main roster.
She was stuck behind Asuka, though.
Right.
I mean, she sat behind Asuka for all that time. Now, No Way Jose, they moved him up there, and I've watched NXT for quite a while now, and I just didn't understand that when he came out on Raw. It kind of shocked me because Cassius Ohno would have been a better pick than No Way Jose if you ask me. I mean, I'm not a big Cassius Ohno fan, but he's done his time. I don't feel like No Way Jose has done his time. He's been there a while, but he hasn't proven himself and fought against the right guys and, that kind of deal.
Exactly. So, Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler. Mm-hmm. The spot of the match was definitely Ember Moon jumping off from the second turnbuckle to hit an eclipse on Baszler.
That eclipse, that's an RKO. Jumping off the rope, grabbing and into an RKO is pretty much what it is. That's a great move. I love it.
That was definitely the spot of the match.
Yes.
I also like the fact that they showed some dominance, and even though she lost, I like the fact that when Shayna Baszler hit her with the rear naked choke, that Ember Moon did not tap out.
Right. And
it showed the toughness of Ember Moon for her not to tap out.
She looks tough too. And that move where they step on the elbow or step on the arm that Baszler started. How do they do that, man? It looks like they break people's arms every time they do that because I think Ember Moon did that to Baszler in the match, if I remember right.
She did.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you sell that because that's an amazing sell for somebody to just curb stomp your elbow into the mat and then just without breaking it. It's amazing to sell.
The first time I saw it, I don't remember who took it or who sold it, but she must have been double jointed or whatever. Whoever it was, I don't remember. It might have been Mandy Rose or somebody from Absolution. I don't remember who it was. But her arm literally looked like it snapped the first time I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but
yeah, it was insane.
yeah.
Overall, I think that match, it had its highs, it had its lows.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really get as high of a rating for me as like the ladder match, obviously.
Well,
but I think it was a solid. I think for me it was like a solid 3.5 stars.
Oh yeah, definitely. At least that. Now the thing is, what if you're Ember Moon and what if you're Shayna Baszler in the back, and you watch the match before you? Holy shit! I got to go out there and top
and
that.
To immediately follow that.
Yeah,
to immediately follow that. Like you had to come right out and
you
follow that. Like
you can't.
You can't. You can't top that.
No, just go out there and do your best. And they did a good job. They did a good job for what they were up against.
Right.
You know, that's the way I see it. Now Ember Moon moved up. Baszler's going to have a title run. Who is the next challenger for that title? Probably Kairi Sane maybe.
Kairi Sane is definitely making some moves, but there's not a lot of stronger women up there. I mean, you know, you have. I don't know. They're gonna have to really push some people over the next couple of weeks to get a contender.
Well, they moved Peyton Royce and Billie Kay up to Maine, so it's neither one of them.
Right.
So I think you're looking at Kairi Sane is probably pretty much all you have right at this point that I can think of.
Yeah, I don't really see too many people, especially with Shayna Baszler against Shayna. Like she's really tough, and she's one of those stars that just is going to top out. And
she's going to Maine too. She'll be up there.
It's going to be tough to top that. But popularity wise, I think you're going to have to go with Kairi Sane.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of hers either. But I can see Baszler moving up to Maine and forming some kind of thing with Ronda Rousey, because there's another girl in NXT or Maine, I don't remember who it is, but she's also an MMA fighter. I bet you they start some kind of
right.
Who is that third girl that I'm thinking of? Do you know right offhand? I can't think of it.
It's Jessamine Duke.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I could see that happening, but that's down the road. Baszler just got the title. Great match. And there was only 5 matches on NXT Takeover, and it was a 3-hour show, I think.
Yeah, it was a 3-hour show.
Whatever it was.
The Thomas and Ciampa Johnny Gargano match, which we'll get into later, was like 37 minutes by itself.
Yeah, I know. It was insane. So let's move on, man. Let's go to the next one. We came to the end of the Dusty Rhodes tournament, right? Yeah.
Yes.
With AOP.
Complete swerve in this one.
Yeah.
I was completely swerved.
I was
at the end of this
I did
match.
not expect that at all.
You know, the Undisputed Era, which was Adam Cole, obviously, because Bobby Fish is out with injury.
Right. In O'Reilly.
So Adam Cole's left doing double duty.
Uh-huh.
You have AOP, Authors of Pain.
Uh-huh.
Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne, which was a kind of a surprising tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Cole was like double chokeslammed early into the thing, and like you never heard from him again. Like,
no, he was out after
out
that.
of the match.
He was out the rest of the match pretty much.
Yeah, once he got double chokeslammed by Authors of Pain, like he was done. There was no Adam Cole in that match.
Right.
He was just gone.
But ironically, who ended up winning?
Yeah, the Undisputed Era, thanks to a complete swerve by Roderick Strong.
The crowd favorite of all the people in that match, Roderick Strong.
Attacking Pete Dunne.
You know? I mean, I could see Pete Dunne doing it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see Roderick Strong doing it. That was crazy. It was great.
I didn't see it coming, but I think it's a good fit because Roderick Strong is... Roderick Strong's... He's young, he's athletic, and he fits the Undisputed Era so well. And again, with Bobby Fish being out on injury, it fills that void.
He's got the look. He looks like
you
guys, you know?
He does. He fits it perfectly.
There's really not much more to talk about that match besides the swerve at the end. Authors of Pain did their destruction like they usually do.
I'd give it 3 stars.
I'll give it a 3 as well. Should we? Yeah, we'll just go right down the line. I was going to save that match for last, but we're going to talk about it now. We had the Gargano Ciampa match. Unreal. Here, let me show you what I got going on here. I got the Ciampa look. What do you think?
That is definitely the Ciampa look.
Well,
that is the Ciampa look.
All right, I'm gonna beat Ciampa for this cover of this match here. Actually, no, I'm not because the hair's in my mouth. We're gonna take that off. So
you
anyway,
gotta get the crazy serial killer eyes.
Right. So it was a unsanctioned match.
Yep.
If Gargano won, he got to be back in NXT. I think was a stipulation.
Right.
There was really no stipulation for Ciampa, right?
Nope. No stipulation other than preventing Johnny Wrestling there from getting his job back.
Right. And when this happened a few weeks ago, I thought it set up perfectly for Gargano to move to Maine. I was like, okay,
right.
cool. That's that. If you're gonna do those matches where you lose your contract or you lose your job, perfect, man. He lost, fine. He'll show up on SmackDown and Raw. And now they're playing the game like they do with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You know what I mean? They're still gonna be there. Why even put the stipulation in there?
Right.
To me, it's silly.
Yeah. Once they threw the stipulation in there, you have to win to keep your job. Mm-hmm. I just knew that the Johnny Gargano was gonna win that match.
Right. I think it would have been better if they had just moved him to Maine after that happened. Now with the Zayn and Owens thing, I'm just gonna touch on it because it kind of deals with the same kind of match.
Right.
I knew that once they put that stipulation in there, that they were either gonna win or if they lost, there was gonna be some kind of something happening.
Way to keep them in there.
Yeah, because you know damn well that they're not going to get rid of Zayn and Owens. And then,
right.
Then what happened? They fought to a draw. You know what I mean? So it's still going. It's still ongoing. How many matches end in a draw? For Christ's sake, never. They never end in a draw.
And I think either way they're gonna spin that to where they're gonna be like Kurt's gonna be like, all right, well, here's another set of matches for you two to prove yourself, and then something's gonna happen there. And then they're gonna end up on Raw either way.
Well, the thing is, they have that shakeup next week, so all this stuff that's happening, what kind of I'm gonna sway off from NXT for a minute. With Raw and SmackDown happening, they set up a bunch of matches for Backlash, title matches, but they failed to mention that there's the Greatest Royal Rumble in between. So if they're setting up these title matches for Backlash, that means all this crap that's happening at the Greatest Royal Rumble isn't going to mean crap. Because they're already setting the matches for Backlash. But anyway, whatever. I think they needed to set that up a little bit different. But back to the Gargano-Ciampa match. I mean, we could sit here and talk about that all night. Great storytelling because the match ended the same way it started. It started with Ciampa attacking Gargano with the crutch, and it ended with Gargano hitting Ciampa with the crutch.
Right, and then Ciampa stole that crutch from just some random audience member.
I'm sure it was
Right, I'm sure it was at work, but it was fun for him to just take the guy's crutches and like, okay, now I'm going to bring the crutch in, and it had a few slow spots in the second half of the match, but it finished strong.
You talk about storytelling. Holy crap. The whole feud was told in that match. The facial expressions, in the ending where Gargano looked like he had sympathy. And no.
And even Ciampa had a swollen left eye.
Yeah.
He took a bump for real because his eye was pretty swollen. It was almost shut. It was swollen that bad.
There was a lot of bumps, especially in that first match. I think almost all of them were cut in that match.
Yeah. I mean, 37 minutes long. It's quite a feat to go 37 minutes that strong in a match.
Well, like I said, we could sit here and talk about that forever. The only thing we can say is if you're watching this video, go watch that match, dude, because we can't explain how great it was.
I'm gonna give that probably like 4.5 stars, only because it slowed down a little bit in the second half.
Right.
But overall, I think it was a good solid 4.5 stars.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like I said, anybody watching this video, you can listen to what we say and take our input on it, but you have to go watch it. This was probably one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, the first match and the last match was definitely the matches of the night. They were the ones that stole the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and it's too bad because the Moon and Baszler match and the three-way tag team match, they were stuck in the mud, man. They had so much. It
Right.
was impossible for them to even, you know, I felt bad for them. So anyway.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to top it, but you know what? Johnny Gargano and Thomas and Ciampa did a hell of a job closing the show. Everything in between was just kind of like it was good, but nothing's gonna top for me. Nothing's gonna top the beginning and the end. It was a great way to begin, great way to end. Everything in between is just kind of like,
Well,
it was
there was
good,
one other match in between, and we kind of jumped ahead to the Gargano Ciampa match, but we had the Aleister Black and Cien Almas match. The only reason I jumped past that is because it was a title match, and technically that should have been the main thing there. But anyway, that was a great match too, and I said that whoever lost this match was going to move to main, and we didn't see Almas on Raw or SmackDown, so I don't know what's going to happen with that.
He hasn't bumped up yet. That match was okay. I was kind of disappointed that they let
too much interference.
Zelina Vega interfere so much. But ultimately it ended up costing her because she ended up costing the match for Cien Almas.
But you know, isn't that a typical thing that WWE does? Is when you see a lot of interference in that, you see somebody costing a lot of missed pinfalls and stuff. What does that eventually mean? That eventually means the other person's going to win. I could see Aleister Black winning as that was progressing because of all the pins that were interrupted, and you could see that coming.
Right.
So,
I'm kind of glad that Aleister Black has the title now because now it means that he can have his championship run and he can finally, hopefully, get pushed up to the main roster because I believe that Aleister Black is one of those shining stars that deserves to be main roster material.
Right. Oh, definitely. No doubt about it. And you know, the thing is, I'm not a big Cien Almas fan, but I have to say, I've seen three title matches of his. They've all been great matches, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he puts on a good show whether I like him or not. I hate to say it, but he's putting on a good show. If he learns to cut his own promos instead of having his woman do it for him, he could be something too.
He kind of reminds me of like Rusev, a little bit of Rusev mixed with Alberto Del Rio.
Oh, yeah. The thing is with him is he needs work on his promo and he needs new attire. His ring attire sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know why that matters, but he looks silly to me.
Yeah, that was he definitely needs some new attire. He definitely needs a wardrobe change, and I think honestly, if he goes to the main roster, I think they need to cut Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, get her out of there. But
she's just a waste of. I mean, she can barely see above the ring. She's so tiny.
I noticed that. She was just above the apron. It was like her chin.
Yeah, like her head just barely goes above the apron.
Right.
It's like having a kid out there.
Right. But that was a good match, too. I mean, it was a great match. Speaking of moving up, when Aleister Black moves up, now that Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt are together, throw Aleister Black in there. That's the new Wyatt, dude. I love it. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm a Bray Wyatt fan. They need to get him back in his winning ways, man. He's got the great character. But that's for another show, man. We'll talk about that when we talk about
I think I'd probably give the show 4 stars.
Oh, definitely.
Solid 4 stars. I wouldn't give it 5 because it did have its moments which brought it down a little bit. The interference by Vega, the slowness in the Gargano match, a couple of mistakes here and there. Obviously took its toll on the whole as a pay-per-view, or the pay-per-view as a whole. But I would definitely give it a 4-star rating.
You know, the sad part about that is we probably would rate this.
Probably more like 4.5.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say we'd probably go higher. That first match set the bar so high that everything after that kind of felt, even though it was really good, it just kind of felt a little bit drug out because of what we saw in the first match. I mean, they blew everything in the first match. I mean, they wasted all their spectacularness, or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know what the word is. I mean, that first match was amazing.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, man, that was NXT Takeover New Orleans. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Get the WWE Network, $9.99 a month. WFW Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. Big Daddy Elvis is going to be defending that title this week. And, yeah.
Tonight.
What's that?
Tonight.
Tonight, you're right. Because as soon as we're done, I'm going to put this up, and hopefully they see it. Maybe they'll tune in for WFW. Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us, Elvis. And
you got it.
We're going to do a WrestleMania review, which we should have done already, but my vacation screwed me up. It's great having you, dude. You're a great guy to have on. Farley sucks anyway. I'd rather have you. Farley don't know what the hell he's talking about. We just talked about NXT Takeover New Orleans, probably one of the best pay-per-views ever. And,
absolutely.
Yeah. Tell the Jobber Jabber world hello, goodbye, whatever, Elvis, and then we're going to sign out.
Yeah, we'll see you later, guys. Make sure you tune in to WFW, Jobber Jabber Universe, YouTube. It's fun times. Mm-hmm. Come see me defend that title.
That's right. And check out Teespring, Jobber Jabber, 15% off through the month of April. Check out the other videos. Subscribe, like, share. Even if you don't like it, it'll help us out.
Follow it, Twitter, everything.
Twitter, Facebook, and Teespring is our three main things. YouTube, obviously. So if you're watching this, you're on YouTube. Anyway, thanks for joining us. It's Two Tooth and Big Daddy Elvis, WFW Fan Champ. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
See you later.